This is FYI, conversations with interesting people about fascinating projects happening in Ohio.
And I'm JT Burcham. Welcome to FYI 93.7 The Light, Hope 100.7. You already saw a sneak peek of my guests today. Welcome, Carolyn and Jeremiah Bird. So nice to have you guys here today from SOS Ministries. Haven't run into you in a while. I'm sure there's a lot of new, great things going on, but I know you're being steady and faithful in what God's called you to also. So let's catch up. For those who have never heard of SOS Ministries, I'm going to let you guys choose who starts. What's SOS Ministries all about, Carolyn? Oh, you pointed at each other, both of you. I'll put Carolyn on.
All right. So SOS Ministries is a ministry that's designed to rescue and restore victims of human trafficking and drug addiction. We go by the scripture, Luke 15:4, so we always go for the one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, you guys kind of do this kind of all over Ohio. Is that right? Different cities where you kind of find folks and gather them in one by one. And what happens when you find someone that you feel God's led you to that needs your services? What happens to them?
Well, it can take place from a phone call or, we're connected with a lot of different churches. Just like last Friday, we actually got a call. We were on our way towards Cincinnati and a young lady called. She was in Lexington, Kentucky. And we decided to go on. She was ready, so we went and got her, brought her back, and brought her to the safe house and kept her overnight. And the next morning, took her on down to Southern Ohio into a treatment center. So we were looking at about 1,100 miles over the weekend, then about 42 or 43 hours with the young lady. So it worked perfect, but that's kind of how it usually goes. Sometimes we get them straight in, but that was kind of a weekend. And the guy doing her intake at the place she would be going to had a funeral to go to. So we gave him some grace on that. And we got to pour into her that night. So it went really good, but that's typically how it goes.
Yeah. Now, do you have a facility where people come and stay, or you kind of are the resource that gets people to those places?
We are the resource that gets them to those places.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we do have a safe house for, like, if it takes a couple of days to get maybe say like their insurance, or to, like he said, it was on the weekend, we have a safe house. We can bring them and pour into them and keep them over that time to get them to where they need to go.
Short-term stay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how does God lead you to these folks? I mean, how does it happen? I know you can't share every story, and some of them you're probably too private to share, but how does it generally happen that you come across folks that are in a place that they need a hand up? How do you help? How does that happen?
Well, our name's out there. We used to do a lot of missions, and we're trying to get back to that, but we've been so busy. The Lord has blessed us so much that we haven't been able to actually go out and do just a week mission or something in a city for a while now. But a lot of times you'll have people that are doing an outreach somewhere in a city. It could possibly be, wherever. But it could be around a church. They could be doing a church outreach, feeding the homeless, having a cookout, stuff like that. And, God has strategically placed a lot of churches around dope houses and where there's a lot of drug activity and sex trafficking activity. So, they are aware of our services. And a lot of times it'll be a call from the pastor or someone else. Sometimes it'll be inside of a jail, a young lady getting ready to get released that, needs help, don't have anywhere else to go. And we can work that way as well. Sometimes we'll run into them on the street ourselves. That happens a lot as well.
Yeah. Well, and I hear you saying referral from churches. I bet family members sometimes
Mhm.
just say, "Hey, we're at the end of our rope. Can you help
Yeah.
us?" I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Whenever that happens, a lot of times we'll give them a card, and I'll be like, "Look, don't give them any money. Don't let them in your house. Don't feed them. But you tell them when you're ready, when you're done with this kind of life, and you need help, and you're ready to get help, call these people." And that's when we show up, because they have to be ready. They have to be willing to make a change.
And a lot of times, when people want just in general wanting help, they go to a church because that's where they know there's help there. And so by them doing that, we have our name is in a lot of churches, a lot of pastors, and our cards, and then they call us. They hold them till we get there.
Yeah, excellent. Now, let's talk about funding. How are you funded? Folks can jump in and support. I know you have a website. Real quick,
Yes.
talk about the website. Folks can give there, I guess. Yes.
Yeah. We're not state or government funded, so we rely solely on donations. They can, if you want to give as an individual, there's a link to the website. On the website, there's also PayPal. What else is there?
We have PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. It goes through Stripe on our website. You can go on any of them and be able to support. And you can also do, if you want to do monthly, there's a spot where you can do monthly or one-time donation. Or if they wanted to send a check or cash, they could send it to SOS Ministries, P.O. Box 315, Xenia, Ohio, 45385.
Excellent. Now, I understand that you actually have a fundraiser coming up. How often you do this kind of thing? You've got a fun event coming up in the Xenia area.
Yes, we do. On May the 10th, we'll be having a Time to Sow. We usually do 2 fundraisers, events like this a year. So usually we do like a dinner or gala or banquet, which this is going to be more like a banquet, and have some karaoke time where you can basically that's going to be like our live auction. You can bid for somebody to do it, and we have props as well to go with that. But we will have silent auction stuff and raffle tickets and everything there. It'll be a fun night, and we'll also present the ministry. We always have a video that we show of the things that we've done over the year. And so people get to hear in depth more of what SOS does. And then we usually have the second one is usually around October, and it's usually the Christian motorcycle run we have.
Yes. Yeah. I remember that one. Okay. So I think I hear you saying, if I want to hear Jeremiah Bird sing Wind Me Beneath My Wings, I can
Yes.
call him out. Is that how that works? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
I'm guessing that might not be his preferred song to sing, but it could be enjoyable.
Yeah.
And you can even have him put a little halo in the back.
There you go.
For his crop.
Sincerely, though, this is for folks who are kind of in the area, who are ministry minded a little bit. Yes. Who want to help. This is kind of for them a little bit. Yes.
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 Learn more, hear about the ministry, hear the needs of the ministry, and get involved. Yes.
Yes. Yes. And it will be at the 1265 West 2nd Street in Xenia at the Xenia Community Center.
And you're also still looking for sponsors,
Yes,
aren't you?
we are still looking for sponsors. I think it's on the website. So we are looking for sponsors still. And we're doing a dining with dignity as well, that if people sponsor, they get extra tickets, and we take them to Andy's Closet, which is in our mission center, because we do have a mission center now where we can do a lot of our work out of there. And we have Andy's Closet where they can get a free outfit, free pair of shoes, and get decked out and ready for the event, and have a free seat to come to the event. For less fortunate that, maybe couldn't afford to come or something. And so we'll be doing that as Dining with Dignity.
Nice. Now, I notice you also on the website, there's a place that says volunteers needed. You accept folks, folks can offer transportation, offer phone support.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. As well as like at the Mission Center. Because we are in the Mission Center. We have, like I said, the Andy's Closet. It's completely volunteer ran. And
Okay.
so they are taking volunteers there. And then we have volunteers for like the food pantry part and for community meal part. So we're building out to be able to serve free meals to the community in the mission center. And then also, like I said, the pantry, and we're 116 project where we're going to be able to help women that's having babies and be able to, help them with their new stuff and everything. So a lot of little things going on in there.
Sounds like a lot going on there. Lots of opportunity to help folks. You like to help folks, I'm guessing.
We do.
Go ahead.
It's been really interesting and neat to be able to see seeds that were planted in some of our former rescues who have, they're out in life now. They're productive members of society. They have their own businesses. They are working. They're productive, and they come to church and to our mission center, and they're getting equipped. And we actually had a double rescue. When I told you we had one Friday and Saturday, there was also another rescue going on from Springfield. One of our former ladies, and she's very active in the mission center. Her and her husband got a guy out of there that was on the streets and in really bad shape, and got him into treatment up in Columbus, Ohio. So it's just amazing to see that other people getting it, and all it takes is somebody helping one person.
Yeah.
And it adds up.
Yeah. So cool. Now, I hate to ask this question here with only a minute or so left, but how long have you been doing this, and how did you first get started doing it?
We are 6.5 years old as a nonprofit. And we did start it 3 years before that. Just my husband and I, God told us to give away everything we owned and go into the streets and just preach the gospel. And so we backpacked across 22 states preaching. And along the way is when we've seen so much of what we want to help, why we want to help so much. And so then we came back to Xenia and ended up forming a nonprofit in January 2019.
Interesting. What's ahead? It sounds like you're already, I heard a little bit of, stuff ahead you're getting into.
We have the mission center. We've have 3 pastors who we've ordained through our mission center through SOS, and they're coming up as pastors. I have an outreach pastor, an equipping pastor, and a recovery pastor. And I'm getting to watch these guys grow in the Lord and in their pastor skills and things. Also, we're getting ready, working closely with Fountain of Hope Ministries and Pastor Roy McGee down in Tennessee. That's who ordained me. But we're wanting to start a men's faith-based discipleship program for men that's addicted to drugs and alcohol or just mental health or whatever that need that. And it'll be called Rivers of Grace, and it'll be a free 9 to 12 month program. And we'll be utilizing the mission center as well and doing outreach with them. So in the future, we're also wanting to do a lot more outreach.
Yeah. One more time, Carolyn, the details on the event coming up here just a couple weeks away.
Yes. So we will be starting at 5 p.m. and it'll be at it's a time to sow, and we'll be starting at 5 p.m. at 1265 West 2nd Street at the Xenia Community Center. And it is a benefit banquet. So we're going to have a really nice meal. It's a Sunday best dress, and we're going to have speakers and a video about the ministry. And then we're going to do we'll have silent auctions and raffle tickets. And then we'll also have, at the end, we'll have the karaoke with props. You can bid like a live auction for who you want to sing what, and they have to wear the props. So it'll be a lot of fun.
All right, Jeremiah, what is Carolyn's favorite song to karaoke? And Carolyn, what is Jeremiah's favorite song?
Oh, for her to sing?
Yeah.
That he left the 99. What is that one called?
Reckless Love.
Reckless Love. That would
Oh,
be her favorite one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And his
Corey
favorite,
Asbury.
his favorite would probably be Trenches
Trenches. Okay. Oh,
by
boy.
Clean Slate Music. And
It's gonna be
Nikki
nothing
Gracious.
but fun. Nothing but fun. A little hip hop probably in the mix, I'm guessing. Yeah.
It'll be
Carolyn,
fun.
Jeremiah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Again, you can learn more on the website, sosministries.org. Did I
Yes.
get that right?
You
Save
did.
our soul. Yeah.
Save Our Souls Ministry. Yep. Thank you so much, guys.
God
Appreciate
bless
it.
Thank
you,
you.
TT. Thank
Keep up
you.
the good work. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Have a good
Okay.
day.
You too.